Hey, what's up? What's up? What are you guys doing here? I didn't realize you guys were gonna stop by. Did you want to listen to the new Megadeth album? I'm listening. I got it going. That's probably why I can't hear you. Why I didn't know you were in my room. Yeah. So I got a new setup. This is your first look at it. It's my new setup. I got a desk. I got a desk that glows like a UFO or an AUP, and unexplained aerial phenomenon. So it's UAP. Whatever the case may be, I got a desk where I'm now much more mobile because I've never been a guy that likes to sit down. I don't like to sit down, and I don't like to shut up. So I got a desk that allows me to walk around. Now, if I could get to a book, if you want to see a book, I can walk around and get the book. It's just like one of my videos. When I go live, when I do a video, I walk around a lot. It is a problem because I do tend to like burn off nervous energy by moving around. But also I got a new radio player. So I just got the new Megadeth. So more than likely this stream won't be monetized. Got it today. I got a lot of stuff today, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I hope you're all staying warm, as number one instructed you to do. Hope you're all cozy. Hope you have the power on. I know that for a lot of the country, the ice came down and pulled some power lines with it. A lot of snow piled up everywhere. I was talking to some people today on some work calls, and Boston got slammed. Other places got slammed. There's a lot of people that had like 20 feet of snow. Still got glares going on. I'm trying to work on all of this. Trying to get, but look at this. Look, I can walk over here and just boom, and I'm back. I'm not scrolling around in that chair. And where I live, right outside Chattanooga, we were passed over. We were very lucky. It was crazy because Nashville got slammed. And then east of us, the East Coast is all buried, as Rob Love's books pointed out. And so we were in this little pocket where it was tricky, it was iffy, but really all it was today was cold. I drove around today. I delivered a couch today. That's what I did. Also got my lumber. This is lumber, Jeff. I had to get my flannel on and go, get some wood for the fire because I didn't know if power would go out. Whatever. So all we had was it's a little cold. Being a Chicago boy, this ain't cold. I remember going to work and it was 65 below with the wind chill one year. I don't know, was it 1993, 94? I don't know what year it was. When it gets that cold, you just don't, So I'm going to say hi to people. How is everybody? What we got? We got Mark. We got Mike. You got Brandon. Good to see you. Rob Loves Books, as I mentioned. Jason, Books. Mark, Alan, good to see you. David, good to see you. Zach, were you one of the flyboys that got grounded? They grounded 11. They canceled 11,000 flights across the country. It was crazy. Ron, good to see you. Christopher Bowers, good to see you. Mark Miner coming tomorrow. Oh, Twisted Retreat. We're going to talk about that. Jim Chidester, good to see you. Tim, good to see you. Flash is here. Patty's here. You're snowed in Arkansas? Really? You're snowed in Arkansas. I don't know. I know Tulsa probably got hit. I don't know if Mitch is out. When you're a kid of a certain age, you can go out, and if you're an entrepreneurial kid, you go out and you shovel all the drives of all the people, and everybody thinks so cute. This kid's got ambition. Go shovel my walk, And then when you slip on the ice because the kid shoveled the snow, you could sue the kid. Little known thing I like to do. My pool cover gave way. Oh, damn. Sorry to hear that, man. I got Wraith today. It's gorgeous. Well, it's a Lavidian. So I think, luckily I was off. Okay. Good evening, Lance. How is it? Mine's coming Wednesday. Wraith. So, yeah, I was at a crossroads with the Lavidian stuff. And I just decided, Joe Hill isn't going to be somebody I collect all the time. But now I can't wait to see how King Sorrow comes out from Lavidian. Now Lavidian's got to do a lot of catch up because Wraith, I don't know how many books, he's got to do Full Throttle. He's got to do Strange Weather. That'd be interesting because he did it really well at Cemetery Dance. I'm not even going to credit Chismar for that. I don't think Chismar did shit at Cemetery Dance. So, Mark, you'll love it. Has Lavidian announced their King Sorrow? No. I'm just getting ahead of it. I know that Brian James Freeman's going to do the entire Joe Hill library. And the one I would be pumped to see is a big chunk in King Sorrow from Lavidian. That will be absolutely gorgeous. That'd be the one I'd be interested in. But I didn't get Horns, and I didn't get, I didn't get Horns, and somebody stole my 20th Century Ghosts. So I don't have that anymore. Somebody took it. Nosferatu is next. Yeah. I skipped Wraith, kicking myself after I've seen it. Well, I've not read. I've only read Horns, and I read Fawn. That was in At Home in the Dark. That wasn't that where it first appeared, and I read it and I liked it. It was good. I mean, I think Joe Hill is super talented. My kettle of fish, I don't know if that's he's great. He's a great author. I read 2 things by him and I liked them both. I guess I felt about him the same way I feel about Keith Rawson. Good, like genuinely enjoyable stuff, but not anything like I'm tearing myself to get back at. Not like some books, like right now I'm reading Darker Days. I love it. I think it's a fantastic book. I can't wait to get back to it. Long Sight M40. Couldn't wait to get back to it. Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. Those are like, you put it down and you're like, okay, all right, I gotta be productive. I gotta do adult things. I gotta go live a life. And then you're like always kind of like, but if I get a break, man, I get to get back to that. Find out who's killing all these old folks. Find out what is this fortune telling. What are those fortunes going to come true in Long Sight? All these things. Very cool effect when you're really gripped by a book, and I just didn't get gripped. You know what I mean? Horns was okay. It made me sympathize with Joe Hill as the son of a celebrity. He's a great writer in his own regard. You can't just, I think nepotism gets you a certain distance. Sure, it gets you in the door. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are in good positions because of who they're related to instead of their talent, and would be dwarfed by somebody that they shut out. Possibly somebody would be, but I don't think nepotism would get Joe Hill where he is. I think he's a really great writer. And in that book, he's the son of this famous jazz musician, horn player. So horns. And sort of he's living in his father's shadow. And I thought it was a very interesting take or perspective. You write what you know. And I think Joe Hill lived that sort of lived in that shadow. So I don't know. I like that aspect of it. And then just trying to be a young person, carving out your own identity in such an environment was a really interesting read. Never mind. Sounds like you're assuming they will. Yeah. And I'm sure you're right. Yeah. Nas 4A2. I say Nosferatu. Darker Days was freaking amazing. I'm so glad. Now I have a whole thing. I went to Goodreads for some stupid reason, and I read the reviews of Darker Days, and there were a lot of 3-star, 2-star reviews. A lot of Thomas Oldhuvelt's books are very middling in ratings. I think the guy is stupidly talented. I love his writing. And these middling reviews just don't sit well with Beef Daddy. I take it personally because this is an author. When I read some people saying some out of line things about Philip Fracassi, for example. Anyway, it's interesting because what I'm going to get at is a criticism I saw of Boys in the Valley, and in one I see of Darker Days. The people that were dinging it said it takes forever. It's a slow read, and I'm sorry. That really is like if I was in charge of Goodreads, that phrase would get every review deleted. If you're saying it's a slow read or it takes forever, you're discounted. You're not a reader, in my opinion. You don't read books. You're not somebody who enjoys the medium. Listen to audiobooks on 2x speed, or go see a movie. Go binge a TV show. Don't read. If you can't sit with an author and sit in their brain and sit in the world they create and absorb and enjoy the ride. Now, there are bad writers that nothing happens in the book, like Bentley Little, and I could see where that speed is a factor. But I don't know. And forgive me if you're like, I agree it's a slow read or whatever. I've never seen that as a legitimate critique of a story. I maybe I've been lucky. Maybe I've just read a lot of books that kept me engaged. But you could read all right, I'm going to tell you, like Blake Crouch is a page turner. Like you're dying to see what happens next. Everything's a cliffhanger. You're like, wow, your mind's blown with the plot device. But it's like cotton candy. You come out the other side having read a cool story. Maybe your pulse is up a little bit. You're thrilled, but it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't become part of your DNA. It doesn't become part of your consciousness. It doesn't inform any part of your worldview. And I think for me, that is more empty than something that builds and really sets the stage. I don't know. I'm not obviously feeling like Darker Days is a slow story. I definitely don't think Boys in the Valley was a slow read. I mean, there's a sheriff's kicking the door in with a guy who's like out of his mind and covered in blood, and there's a big. How is that a slow start? Or when you learn about Peter's family and how he came to the orphanage, I don't know, whatever. I just don't agree with it. I feel, maybe it's just me becoming an old curmudgeon, but I feel it's just like an erosion of your brain with this thing. Like, you need it immediately. Nope, I need it immediately. Sorry, can't stop scrolling. I got to have it. I need a shotgun blast to my frontal lobe. Otherwise, it's not even worth it. I can watch viral videos of people getting shot on the street, and that gets my pulse racing. This, where I have to learn about this pact of a neighborhood, this neighborhood made a pact, and how it erodes their sanity over the course of a month, that's not fast enough. I just think reading's not for you. Move on. If your goal is to churn through books and not have them change you, pick a different pastime. That's just my opinion. That's all that ever comes out of my mouth, of course. anything is just my viewpoint, but it just annoyed me. I shouldn't do that, but I was just wondering what the feedback was. And yeah, again, it can be fair, but let me see what you're saying. You're probably all like, I thought it was slow as shit, Jeff. I did raid through CD. Wonder how long it will take for me to get it. I'm sorry, Lance, and you know better. You know better. You shouldn't just give them your money. I had store credit. Otherwise, I would have done it directly from. Okay. All right. I've got about 50 pages left in Serafina. Then I'm starting Darker Days. Oh, those are 2 back-to-back slammers. Maybe after King Sorrow edition ships. Yeah. Oh, my God. Who's he related to? Oh, I don't know. Believe it or not, I'm finally reading Dracula after reading his short stories from Centipede's Library of Weird Fiction. Oh, really? Dracula. It's a slow read. I'm a quarter through Darker Days. Great choice for book club. I'm glad. And I don't know how it's going to end, but maybe you have to be somebody who's dealt with mental illness. Maybe you have to be somebody who knows what it's like to just feel like you're going through a grinder every November when that sun goes away. Maybe it's all relevant, but I just think Thomas Olahuvelt did a spectacular job. Hey, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. is here. Good to see you. I'm going to read your comment in a second. I didn't see a greetings and salutations from you earlier. Yes, I am standing. Yes, Mitch. Mitch, I didn't even see you. Mitch, good to see you. Yes, I have a new desk. It's a standing desk. It also lowers so I could sit. So sorry, Mitch. Sorry I missed you. I don't understand the less than 5 stars. If you sit and read this one, just how can you give it less than 5? Wow. Thomas is an amazing writer, but opinions are also subjective. I was not the biggest fan of Darker Days personally. I was hoping for and know he can do better. That's fair. I mean, yes, I think it's totally fair to not have it be your jam, and it's just my opinion, of course. I don't know. For me, it's sort of a return to Hex, but a more mature take. Like Hex felt is awesome. Hex was awesome, but it felt in some ways not immature, but less mature, less of a elevated opinion of what, I don't know, just maybe less empathetic. Whereas this one really dials up the personal struggles of each resident, how awful they get to each other. I just, I don't know. It felt like a return to that same sort of, there's a pact among this town or this neighborhood, and everybody there understands it, tries to live with it as best they can, just fights to get to normal, just a normal, and how that can unravel rather quickly. The It Starts Slow crowd don't enjoy actual horror fiction. They want either a romance with blood or splatter nonsense. Amen. I totally agree with that. You can't care about horror. You can't enjoy horror unless you care about the characters. It doesn't. Then there's no horror. For example, if you read a story about somebody whacking people to death with hammers in a bedroom, but you didn't really get to spend a lot of time with that character, maybe you don't feel that attached, and it's just some splatter punk, But real horror, you gotta feel invested, and I think in how I feel in this book is I am invested. Exactly, books take time to properly enjoy. Even faster reads do, yes. Stephen Wayne Allison Jr., did you get that slipcase to finish off the epic Lovecraft set? Yes, I snagged it. Good. Now just anxiously awaiting the bonus book for those who got the entire set. It's cool. I just thought it was your version of just walking past me. February 3rd will rule. What's February 3rd? February 3rd is what? Is the announcement from Earthling. Yes, we're going to talk about that. First, I wanted to show, I don't know if you guys saw it. I got a paper plate award. This isn't handed out, every year. Only when there's a worthy recipient. The paper plate award is for Jeff Terry for being an unbelievable reader, which means I lack credibility. And it was given to me from the Josh Mallerman Select Committee on Recognition of Excellence. I know he just wrote Josh Mallerman, but it was Josh Mallerman Select Committee on the Recognition of Excellence in the field of awesomeness. So I'm the only booktuber with this award, and I'm very proud of it. I will not get dissuaded. Oh my goodness, Mitch. Look how mobile I am. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. The Jeff Word shelves right here. Look at that. I was out, the lumberjack look going on. I got the Friday 13th. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're in my office with me. It's that energy, Or I could be giving a TED talk. Maybe next week I'll have one of those mics, even though they're not necessary, that come down, and I'll start telling you about the 7 steps you need to implement in the age of AI as a booktuber / copywriter. And then, well, let's check in with the Magic Duck Bucket so we can at least have a reason why the show goes off the rails. What have you got for me today, Magic Duck Bucket? You've got a friend in me. This is a Rapture. I don't know if it's Axum or Servitor. I know you write it. I think it's Servitor. Yeah. Servitor hyphenated. So that, if I have a Rapture in the fridge, I have to drink it on a Monday. I have no more Death Bus. No more Death Bus in the station. Because I have no Death Bus because I have no self-control. It's all gone. I got an empty can behind me on the shelf here. Right there, see? Look at that. I feel like a weatherman. Well, we're going to get a cold front of Fracassi up in here. And then what we got here is a real rainy November in Derry. Got to get a green screen or something like that. What's up, Jason Murphy? I got to know what you got in your Mallerman box. Earthling release and American Psycho if you're interested in a $750 Folio Society book, which I am interested in a signed American Psycho. I am not interested in hating myself. That I can hate myself and not spend $750. So hate yourself for free. Pay the electric bill. That's a shirt I'm going to have available for sale, I think. Yeah, but the Earthling release. New Rapture announcement this week, too. Oh, we got to pay you money again? Hit me up, Mitch. Let me know. I don't keep track of those things, man. February 3rd is also Nepenthe's Metropolis. Wow. So many things on the day after Groundhog Day. It makes me think like I'm never going to wake up on February 3rd. It's just going to be Groundhog Day all over. I wonder if I'll be able to get the bonus book because I bought the HLP books. Nepenthe Metropolis, then letterpress Dracula. Ooh. So it was $750. I think that was what it was said that the folio was going to be, right? Metropolis. Has anyone read Metropolis? I saw the movie in college. if that's what it is, Metropolis, the first Franz something, silent German film, 19 something. I'm familiar with the film from various popular culture filmographic mentions and having seen several clips over the years, intrigued about the Nepenthe. So, yeah, and a lot of college kids had that poster, Metropolis. It looks cool, very Art Deco. It's a poster. I'll be making a vid tomorrow, opening the box then. Okay. Well, I got to see it, man, because I got, you saw what I got. I got the Italian language Mallory. Bummed. I got to say, look at that. See? Look at this. So, yeah, I got it. And you think it came from the man himself, so he would have just jotted a signature in there, but he didn't. And I've looked it over and over. You know what? Maybe he wrote his name somewhere. I'm not going to find it unless I learn Italian and read the book. But I was a little bummed that there wasn't a Mallerman signature in it, considering he had it right there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's in the French flap. No dice. So that was just a minor bummer, but I haven't even read Mallory, so there's that. But yeah, so I got that, and I got PC copies of Black Mad Wheel and Pearl from SST. But the one thing, and I'll show you guys, but don't go mentioning this anywhere, because I didn't want to make anybody feel bad or make a big deal about it. But the slipcase for Black Mad Wheel must have got slapped around in transit. So no big deal. I have it, and it's a beautiful, beautiful copy. And it smells like Josh Mallerman. You hold it up to your nose, and then you could track his scent and find him in the woods. He's in Goblin right now. I got to get the Dracula. I'll be making, debating getting Dracula, but I'm 1 for 2 with my Nepenthe orders. One just didn't arrive, and they couldn't fix it. Oh, boy. I'm sorry to hear that, Law Whipple. Good to see you, by the way. That sucks. That's the reason why I'm staying away from Nepenthe. He signed the edge of the page. Are you messing with me? Yeah, I think you're messing with me. Yeah. I'm easy to mess with. He didn't sign page edges. He didn't sign there. See, now you're making me look again. I swear to God, I looked like 500 times through this book. But yeah, nothing. And that's okay. That's okay. I wrote a big squiggly J because I know his signature now. I'm excited to see what's in the box. It's very cool. And then I honestly hope you do not get a paper plate award. I hope you don't. I hope no one else does. It's not just about you, Jason. I want to be the only one with the paper plate award. I'm greedy. I'm selfish. So that's what I'm hoping for. More excited for Beehive books. Dracula finally coming out this year, maybe. Yeah. I don't think I have a copy of Dracula to put my hands on. I got Powers of Darkness, the Swedish translation of Dracula that was the Swedish version that was translated back into English. So I have that one. Weird House Press is doing a Dracula also. Yeah, it's just been done. And who's doing the letterpress? Is that Conversation Tree or Nepenthe? Oh, excuse me. Maybe I'll get a paper cup or a plastic fork. I hope it's not a paper cup because this is probably going to be smashed. You don't want that. Maybe you'll get a napkin. The paper plate, I got to admit, is pretty awesome. because it's like an award. It has its own. It's very sturdy. I could eat off of it. It's functional. Play frisbee with it. Very cool. Very cool stuff. And that was a fun thing to do. I didn't know what to expect because it was just stuff from around his office. And, it could have been anything. It could have been like a pencil he chewed while writing one of his novels, Like Megadeth, Dave Mustaine did an album. I got the new Megadeth. And I got the White Smoke edition. I haven't opened this. This is still sealed. But this is the White Smoke vinyl, two vinyl set. And there was one that was called the Cremains edition, where there were only 250. And inside the album, the vinyl itself was it contained ashes from the guitar Dave used to record the album. So he recorded the album, burned the guitar, and then you'd have to look it up. It looks like they're loose in there. It's like you could see it's a transparent thing, and the ashes are contained within this thing. And I don't know how many people are going to play that, but it looks like the ashes will be floating around inside. It's not like the vinyl was cooked with the ashes baked in or anything. It's like the ashes are contained in some sort of transparency. And I wanted to get it because it was also signed by the band. But I didn't have $250 to buy vinyls. You know what I mean? So instead I got the White Smoke LPs and I got the ear book. That's what they call it. This is what the CD came in. It's a CD ear book. And it's really indulgent. So the CD goes here, and it is currently in my CD player. And then it has like full page art and lyrics. So there's no like notes from Dave talking about what he thought when he was recording the songs, what they mean. It's just like it's like something a 13-year-old would want, just something like that. I don't know. So it has like the last note, it has some art and then the lyrics. And I mean, in some ways it's really cool because each song gets its own piece of art. I Am War, it's cool. It's fun. It's their last album ever. So I ain't gonna bitch, even though I am. I also have an older Dracula signed by Ed Gorey. Oh, that's pretty awesome, Alan. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Ed Gorey. I think the plate is by far the best thing in the box. It would have been mind blowing if I never collected the SST books. Because what a bonus to somebody who couldn't afford those things. But of course, if you couldn't afford the SST, why would you splurge to get to back at that level on the Kickstarter? So it's sort of like if I was counseling Josh Malerman on what to put into that, I would say more stuff like this, more stuff like the fake blood, less of your books unless they're like that Mallory Italian edition was cool. Like something that people aren't really going to buy in the normal span of collecting. A rare one-off if you got it, or maybe just typed pages of a manuscript. Like that sort of stuff would be mind-blowing, and you wouldn't have to do much of it because if he's like, hey, and yeah, I get greedy, but if he's like, these are the a set of pages from my typed draft of Goblin. This is my third draft of Goblin, or something where the words are just a little different than what made it into the book. And so something like that would be cool. That's all. That's all. Because if it comes down to things that people can buy, chances are, if you're backing that Kickstarter at that level, you've already bought the things. But I would agree, though, Mark. Even if this was the best thing, I really dig it. I got to get it framed because I'm going to put a whole wall. I got the Gothic print from Hatteras Path with Jason Latier. That Gothic frontispiece framed, I got to hang that up because I love looking at that. So, and then my paper plate award. Maybe I'll just get one of those plate holder things. CD's acting up. The Rapture Dracula edition is going to be off the chains. Yes, because it's, yes. Oh, Mitch, if you do Dracula. Lance, I do not see why that would prevent you getting it. Yeah. Just imagine what you would have gotten from King's office from 40 years ago. Empty bottle or a small mirror. Damn! Stephen King is catching strays from Jason. Shots fired, man. Blah, blah, blah. Great vinyl, Jeff. Thank you. I just have the Amaranthine edition. Yeah, I should open it. You know what? I think I'll do that since I got y'all here, and I'm itchy to do it. And then Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. compliments it and says it's a great vinyl. I will say on this album, Dave Mustaine used to be with Metallica, and they kicked him out of the band. They had some differences, and he wrote a lot of their early songs. And apparently, Dave Mustaine wrote "Ride the Lightning" with James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich and Cliff Burton, and it's on this album. It's the last track on this album. So you get Megadeth's Dave Mustaine's final say on a song he reclaimed from his distant past, and it's "Ride the Lightning." And I gotta say, I was expecting him to scorch Metallica. Dave Mustaine is a phenomenal guitarist, and I was expecting him to just have the final word, drop the hammer, and make you go, oh, what could have been had Dave Mustaine stayed in Metallica, and they would have been a force to be reckoned with. But man, no, the Ride the Lightning on this album is just not good. Not anyway. Let's see what the White Smoke edition looks like. Oh, that's cool. There you go. That's what. It's not reproducing really well on the screen here, but it looks like marble. It's the White Smoke. So I got the vinyl, the two vinyl set, and the CD, which I'm probably going to listen to the CD, but maybe once in a while I'll throw the vinyl on. There are no different songs. There are other albums, apparently other versions where they put on a bonus track, which kind of pisses me off because I bought directly from Megadeth. So why don't I have it? King did praise Nat Cassidy. Which one? When the Wolf Comes Home, or just in general? Because King praises a lot of people. He praised Benjamin Percy, who wrote Red Moon, and I just thought that was a contrived piece of garbage. I didn't even finish it. I'm like, oh my God. The analogy and the agenda and the whole point of the book was so stupidly transparent. It was just annoying. I'm like, oh, I'm getting a lecture. I want to read a book. I don't want a lecture. And it's just annoying. I hate when if you could see it like that, then you're not kind of winning anything. And my problem with that is that somebody, the author or whoever, just thinks they're so much better than you. That's the dynamic that gets set up. Whenever anybody preaches at you, whatever their beliefs are, if they're like preaching at you, it sends the signal that I feel like I am your moral or knowledgeable superior, and I'm just going to bring you along because you're just too stupid to know it yourself. So I'm gonna educate you. I'm gonna bring you along, and that relationship is so repulsive to me. I can't I can't sit there with an author doing that. If you make a beautiful case but don't do it in a preachy way, um, you'll it's like I'll be there for that. Like so many books I love. But that finger wagging thing anyway, so I thought Red Moon was just annoying. And that was probably I think the last time I listened to a Stephen King recommendation. Um, Not that I don't like what he did and what he could do for an author. So if there's an author I love and he sort of gives that blurb, I'm all for it. You know, and Nat Cassidy's book "When the Wolf Comes Home" is excellent. I loved it. So I thought it was really smart. I do love a book where there's a cross country chase. Ghoul in the Cave. I'm starting to worry about this Black Box of Doom. Uh, when the wolf comes home, just that I like. I don't know. There's something about it. They're on the run. They're being hunted, and they make a final stand somewhere. That trajectory, that hero's arc. I'm here for it. I don't know why. I just dig it. The new collection coming in May. Oh, okay. I heard a statistic today that 45% of people who buy vinyl don't own a turntable. Really? I mean, here's the thing with vinyl, right? Um, I think it's peak art, right? I think vinyl and the art of collecting music. This is peak, right? You sit with it. It's huge. There's a need to have an interesting cover. There's also obviously room for additional art. There's the lyrics, and then there's the whole intimacy of putting the record on and like a record doesn't allow you to keep flipping the songs, right? You put that needle down. If you want to change the song, you got to delicately move the needle. So it sort of forces you to stay in place and enjoy it and immerse. And the songs are in a certain order. Like that's very intentional. They're on the sides are different and it's all very intentional. It's what the artists intended. And so you're sitting in their world for a little while. But if you don't have a turntable, I don't think it's very effective. It's just like just get a poster. That's why I do think this is a good sort of midpoint, right? If you don't have vinyl, if you don't have a turntable, but you want that big, expansive experience, this is a pretty cool idea. And you got the disc holder. It does create storage issues because how much easier it is to store a little disc in the jewel box than this big old book. And I got to say, I am a little disappointed because the book is pretty thin on substance. It's got a lot of cool art in it. I do dig that, but it's not even Francois art, like great art. Put great art in it. No, I mean this is good. I do love this visual. It's their final album. This sort of sets the tone. So anyway, I think I'm glad that vinyl is having a rebirth. I do like that physical media is making a comeback. I blame Nintendo Switch and all these subscription model people, these greedy bastards who don't want you to own your purchases. I mean, it's one thing if you subscribe to something like, and you could borrow against that subscription. You don't really own the game, but you're like, hey, for this week, I'm going to play this game. Then I got to give it back and then I'm going to borrow this game. So you're paying the subscription, you're paying for the service, but you don't really buy a disc or a game. But if you say, I want to pay $80 for this game, you should have that game for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. King also thinks Bentley Little is the horror poet laureate. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Is that any more odd than book collectors who buy limited editions but don't read them? I mean, you make a good point, Ron. I think they're buying the limited edition vinyls, and they just want to be a super fan. But if you don't enjoy the analog sound of the vinyl, then I think then you are missing a whole other level. Yeah, I find it odd, like an illiterate book collector. My grandkids all want vinyl lately. It's trending. Yeah. Oh, your grandkids really? Number one? Also, it's relatively new phenomenon since COVID. Yeah, it is. I get people record players instead. I still have a lot of my vinyl, but I don't have a turntable. You can get one cheap. They go to Walmart and get a cheap record player. My son, for Christmas, got a really cool thing called a Soundburger. Look it up. It's very cool. It's a really unique turntable, but he's a little iffy on, handling that needle. He's terrified of scratching the vinyl. And we're trying to get him to feel more confident moving that needle around, because it's very, tricky if you're not used to it. I still have all my old vinyl and some new stuff. Also, all my CDs. I have a turntable, but I need a CD player. I know. Again, I got mine off of Amazon for $39, but the speakers are awful, so you have to run them through something else. But they all now have Bluetooth. So if you have an awesome Bluetooth speaker, you can pump that little tiny record player, CD player through a Bluetooth speaker and really kick ass. So it's not just nostalgia for me that I like CDs, because I hated cassettes. Records I liked, but man, did they they get scratchy. You play them too many times, and it's just all static. And then cassettes came out. Well, then 8-tracks aren't even worth mentioning. And then cassettes came out, and cassettes, same thing. If you play them enough over and over and over, then they get warped and warbly, and then your machine eats them. I hate cassettes. So when CDs came out, that's where I stopped. I don't download MP4s. I don't subscribe to Spotify. All that stuff annoys me. So I just stick to the discs. I love discs. Yep, guilty. There are some amazing vinyl box sets out there. We'll get my record player as soon as my book orders ease up someday. They never do. Spoiler alert. Vinyl never died in the UK, really. The good thing, whether people are listening to records or not, at least they are supporting musicians by buying the records. Same thing with books, supporting the publishers, the authors, the artists. Yeah. So that's a lot of it. Is a lot of the collection is I find an author I like and I want all their books. Whether or not I jump on them right away, I want to support that author and the publishers. In Japan, about 30 years, someone developed a laser-based record player. I don't know why they haven't tried to market it now. Wasn't that the picture disc? There was a laser disc thing in the U.S. for a little while. So obviously the records wouldn't scratch. It'd be like the CDs. Boy, buy with caution. Something like 80% of all online vinyl is bootlegs from Russia. Is that a fact? Is that a truth? Because I bought directly from my friend Dave Mustaine over at the MegaJeff shop. Yeah. And So I don't think that had anything to do with Russia. But now I'm paranoid. Yeah, buy with caution for sure. What else we got to talk about today? We talked about a little bit about Earthling. Can you guys tell me what you think it is? Let's pull this up. Let's talk about it. Yep, you missed my laser disc. Oh, you said some. Oh, I wish I could feel that way about all the laser discs I still have. Wasn't that stupid? You couldn't pause laser disc. You put it on, you had to watch it, and it was like they were ridiculous. It was a bad technology that could not have taken off. All right, let's look at Earthling's email. So he shared pics of wanderers. If that's not salivating, if that's not saliva inducing, I don't know. I don't know what is. That is a gorgeous. Look at that book. And then A Song for the End of the World, Mia Dahlia, and that is still available. I don't know how many are left. I don't know how many are gone. I thought I saw somewhere that there were only a few. And then this. So, okay, this is what I really want to talk about. I've shown you these things, and I will probably be getting an advanced review copy of this, and I'm going to read it immediately. So I will update you on that. I don't know if it's still available. Yeah, it's still available. Stupid. Why is it still available? I'm just going to be mad. But what is this? What is your guess? It's like it did remind me of The Ritual by Adam Neville. Finally, the next new Earthling title will be announced on Tuesday, the 27th. That's tomorrow, and go on sale February 3rd. Like Mia, this author is another rising star whose work I'm excited to share with you. This will be a collection of horror stories with a special introduction, artwork for every tale, one is above, and story notes. And once again, a small print run of 250. His first deluxe limited edition book. So, do you think it is Keith Rawson? Like, who is this? I don't know. And flip it, yeah. It's a fact. There are multiple articles. Always buy from the artist. Okay, that's good to know. The Japanese player worked with regular records. No needle needed. Oh, so it's just the record player. That's really cool. One book in a series does nothing for me. One book in a series. Anyone getting Endymion tomorrow? Hey, good evening, Chad. We haven't even gotten to talk about you. Congrats, Chad, on the sellout of Avondale Exodus. If you didn't get one, it's not because I didn't scream about it for long enough. Avondale Exodus is completely buttoned up and sold out. Oh, Wanderers is part of a 2-book series. Yeah, but you could get who knows, maybe he'll do the other one. Anyway, so any guesses on who this is? Who is this? An up-and-coming author. I don't know who. I don't know. I don't think you guys know either. There's no guesses coming in. No way. No way he got me with Dune. Thanks, man. Didn't Paul say he couldn't publish the sequel without the first? I think that was his way of hinting of doing the next one. Well, we know this author could have been published by Gauntlet or CD because those are not deluxe edition. No. So it's a first deluxe edition. It could be Keith Rawson. Does he have a bunch of short stories? I don't know. Up and coming author? I don't know. So That was intriguing. But you'll find out tomorrow. So we'll find out tomorrow, and then you can buy it on next Tuesday if that is like what you're going to do. Well, oh yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what you want to do, but I'm all for. I'm going to be paying attention tomorrow for sure because I got to know who that is, and I do trust Paul Miller, and even though he didn't do Chad Lutsky, and that fills my heart with a certain amount of sadness. But Avondale Exodus is coming out from Paul Goblersh at Thunderstorm, and it's all sold out. So I'm not even going to show it to you. I mean, I'm going to do a video on it when I get mine, but I'm not going to it's like I'm going to read it. I'm going to unbox it. I'm going to read it, and I'll do a review on it. But I feel bad. I do. I feel bad when a book comes out and it sells out, and then I show it off, and then nobody can get it. So if I showed you the book here tonight, it would be like, thanks, Jagoff. Can't buy it. So I'm not going to do that. Not going to do it. Excited for Curious King's release tomorrow. Curious King. Yeah, I have, my brain has kept me away from Curious King as a precaution, as a safety measure, because there's no way I could afford Curious King. So can't afford Suntup anymore either. So it's just not tolerable. So for my own sanity, I've stayed away. But Jeff, if you know about the new incredible multi-volume Fracassi set from Levidian, big props to you for having the massive self-control to not spill the beans about it. Yeah, I did know. It's like, again, it's just I do just have to seal it off. It's going to be pretty freaking awesome. And I love to see that come together with Philip and Brian and Francois. Yeah, Decade of Darkness, 3 volumes. I thought it was just supposed to be 2 volumes, but it's 3 volumes, man. I'm telling you, like, Philip Fracassi should be like on every Bram Stoker award nomination list, always going forward. He's not. Nick Roberts has The Exorcist House coming from Thunderstorm, also available until February 14th. When does Decade go on sale? I don't know. I don't know when it does. But yes, I thought I had that pulled up, Mike, but as I was talking, I realized I didn't have The Exorcist House pulled up from Thunderstorm. That cover looks creepy as hell. I know you like the book, so I trust that you have good taste. DOD is going to be freaking amazing. I wonder if it'll be all at once or 3 separate orders. Yeah, I don't know. I hope he separates them. I don't know. Maybe Philip's messaging me right now to tell me what's up. Or maybe he's not. I want to show this to you. Stephen Dwayne Elson Jr., I don't know if you're interested, but talked about this last week. This is a signed edition of Oracle. It's from Forbidden Planet, and it's not a book plate. It's signed directly for £9. £9. It shipped pretty quickly. Has an annoying sticker on the cover. All right, we can get around that. There are ways. But yeah, because there's like no signed Oracle hardcovers out there. Don't know why, but this was the only title I had from Thomas Olo Huvelt without a signature. So now I got it. But Forbidden Planet, and they're still available. Oracle signed. Yeah, add to basket. I mean, if you could call me a liar, but here's the proof. Look at that. Oracle. And I have it in my hand. This cover here doesn't have the annoying sticker. Damn them for doing that. But thank God they had signed copies. So I've not read Oracle. I'm loving Darker Days. So anyway, for anybody, I mean, I'm just calling attention to it because I was pulling my hair out trying to get a signed hardcover and it never materialized. So I don't know if he did go anywhere. I don't know if he did end up signing hardcovers, but I can't even find anything on the secondary. So I loved Boys, Never, Don't Let Them Get You Down, Child Alone, and Gothic. Not much after that, but I do need to read Serafina. So if you didn't like Third Rule, that's fine. We can't all love everything. But did you read Autumn Springs? And if you didn't like that, I'd be surprised. You will like Serafina. You will. If you loved Boys and Child Alone and Gothic, you're going to love Serafina. Serafina is awesome. Yeah. Serafina is so good. Oracle is the better book, in my humble opinion. Yeah, that's what got me really pumped about it, Stephen, Dwayne, Allison Jr. I mean, I love Darker Days, and I'm like, you thought it was his least good book or his weakest book out of the bunch, out of the four. And so I'm like, well, if he liked Oracle better than this, maybe that's flavoring his read of Darker Days because he read Oracle. So Oracle must kick balls, man. So I don't want that to happen, but I am looking forward to it. And of course, reading Darker Days, wondering why did I skip Oracle? Why did I just, there's so many books I want to read. But so I'm glad that Forbidden Planet had it for £9. It was regularly 11 pounds. So you get to save, you lose 2 pounds. And then you could sit there and watch the conversion rate. What's the dollar doing against the pound if you want. But, this is like $20. I mean, with the shipping. It wasn't that expensive. I read Autumn right after Third Rule. Okay. I'm surprised, man. I thought Autumn Springs was awesome. Putting a sticker on a book is like scratching the surface on a CD. Yeah. Yeah, so far, not bad. Not just up to his ability. Yeah. That's fair. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I just, And speaking of phenomenal talents, did you guys see who was given the Stoker Award nominations for 2026? Let's look at them. Let's look at that list. So these are the preliminary ballot nominees. Note, this is not the final nominee list. These works will be voted on by HWA members February 15th. So this is just, so there's superior achievement and an anthology. I did see One Bad Night. That's an Aardvark book club thing. That's kind of interesting. None of these other, The End of the World as We Know It, of course, is nominated because it's the two horror gatekeeper guys. The ones who decide who sits at the cool kids table. They're they're also big time HWA. So of course their shit's nominated. A collection of folk horror from the Asian diaspora. This Way Lies Madness. Darkness Most Foul. And then Howl, an anthology of werewolves from women in horror. So none of these other ones I've heard of, except for, One Bad Night and End of the World as We Know It. We all know End of the World as We Know It's going to win. Superior achievement in a fiction collection. So we have V. Castro, Clayton McLeod Chapman, Gemma Files. I've never heard of Eric Gungnard. John Langan. Cheryl Toomey, Haley Piper, M. Reagan, Andrew Robertson, and Sarah Tantlinger. Um, then we have first novel. Michael Wehunt, that's his first novel? That surprises me. I thought he'd written others. Anyway, what do I know? Superior achievement in a graphic novel. There's no RSV ESP. RSVP ESP is in here. Mike Magnola, Bowling with Corpses. Yeah, Ghost Box. Mike Carey, huh? So anyway, none of these superior achievement in long fiction. I don't know what that means. What is long fiction versus a novel? Yeah, you got Sarah Langan is nominated twice. Any other familiar moons? Familiar moons. I saw Wolf Moon here. Familiar names. Nathan Ballingrud. Yeah. No other names that stand out to me. Long nonfiction, and then superior achievement in a novel. This is like best picture, of course. This is the one everybody pays attention to. And Bat Eater, I've seen around. Someone said it was phenomenal. I have no idea. Wake Up and Open Your Eyes. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. Own it. Didn't read it. King Sorrow. Own it. Didn't read it. The Buffalo Hunter. Awesome book. Love that book. Angel Down. Never heard of it. The Bewitching. Never heard of it. Oh, Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I heard of her. Haley Piper. Lucky Day. And then Wendy Wagner. Now, I've never heard of Girl in the Creek, but Chuck Tingle, this book is everywhere, but I don't ever see anybody talking about it as worth reading. So my vote on this list of the only book I read is The Buffalo Hunter. Michael Wehunt is a great writer. Yeah, I know. So I'm surprised it's his first novel. He's getting I don't know how that he landed on first novel status. That Howl Werewolf book came out through Kickstarter years ago. How is it on the list? I don't know. I mean, this is Reddit. Maybe it's maybe they're wrong. Long fiction is novellas. Okay, so just not quite a book, but longer than a short story. It'll be a close race between Buffalo and King Sorrow. Yeah, maybe. Everyone see Josh Mallerman's story post yet? No. I don't know. Are you talking about okay. Where is it? Are you talking about that that Nashville? Oh my God. What are we talking about? That All Hallows Eve? There's that. There's All Hallows Eve. It's a cover reveal right here. So it has stories. Josh Mallerman, Lee Murray, Rich Larson, Clay McLeod Chapman, Linda Llewellyn, Michael Marshall Smith, Stephen Graham Jones, Linda D. Addison, Christopher Gatekeeper, Alma Katsu, Brian Evenson. I forgot how to say that name. That it's an Irish name. So I'm not even going to try. And John Lagan and Nathan Ballingrud. Some really good, really familiar names on here. I would like to read the Josh Mallerman and the Stephen Graham Jones, but it was on Insta. The one about the guy from, that was he. Yeah, he wrote, I know he wrote, Josh Mallerman wrote a long thing about that guy that was killed in Minneapolis. It was like a free form poem almost. And so yeah, I saw that and I read it and I'm like, that is how an author processes the world, writes something like that and weighs in on an issue, tries to imagine what was going on with that, and it's worth reading. I'm not going to read it here. I'm not going to do that now. It's heavy stuff. It is heavy stuff, and I don't want to be heavy right now. I think so many things are heavy, and Mondays are heavy. Life is heavy. Mondays, I think, are the days when everybody does their your self-reflection is usually strongest on a Monday morning. You go to bed at night on Sunday, you wake up, and it's Monday morning that always makes you wonder where you are, not just in the week, but in your life. Because you start to think about what you have to do, where you're going, what the rest of the week looks like, which is a microcosm of the rest of your life. So Monday nights after a heavy day. So, but yeah, I do recommend everybody going, checking out, because I saw it on Facebook, that post. I think that's what you're talking about. Heavy duty shit, man. I'm not a fan of the world right now. But I don't want, anyway. Can't run from reality for sure. But I've not seen I don't think I'm friends with him or follow him on I am following him. Huh. I just never saw it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is what so if you're out and about, check it out. This is powerful stuff. Yeah. Well, even just scanning it again is like, Jesus, man, that's quite a punch in the gut. Knocks the wind out of you, Yeah, gatekeeper. He is a gatekeeper. I hate those guys, man. It's not fair. It really is not fair for me to say that. I have no personal interactions with them. Never had a beer with them. I never broke bread with them. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they think. But the overall impression I get is that they are determining who sits at the cool kids table. They're trying to bless. And the thing with that, you could always tell when it's somebody that's just sort of a clique, if it's just a clique and they determine that they're cool, you know what happens? The market fails their chosen people. Their chosen people can't get good reviews. They can't sell a goddamn book. They fall flat. And it's funny because there are the hustlers, the people who sell books that have the loyal fan base that are suppressed or smashed by these gatekeepers because they're just bloated at the top. So they're bottlenecking the whole process. The real talent that can attract an audience, can maintain an audience, can reward a reader with a great story is getting snuffed out so they could feel good about their friends. Oh, does that piss me off? And that's the impression I get. Not saying it's true. I'm not even saying it's based. I'm not even saying I got my big toe tipping in the real reality of it, but that's how it feels for sure. That there's this little cabal of people who decide who the real valuable voices are, and all these other voices can just be squelched, and it just pisses me off. And I'm sure it's been like that forever. In the music industry, in the movie business, there's all kinds of people who determine what is the thing that people will get to consume. Not like putting the buffet out there and saying, well, they really like that dish and nobody likes that one. No, they determine what you get to eat. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's amazing that one of them looks like Dice. Or Glenn Danzig. I don't know if that's who you're thinking of. If you're talking about Gabino Iglesias. Yep, I've seen them in person, Jeff. They are gatekeepers for sure. Mitch will get a taste of that. Taste of it at AuthorCon. He just comes across as arrogant as hell. I can't say much, but I'll just say you've got great intuition on the 3 or 4 people you've called out over the last few years. You're very observant. I'll just say that. I think it's how they circle wagons. It's how they behave on social media. It's how they talk about people. And you could tell the way they talk, there's coordination. There's agreement in this little clique. They could it just boils my blood because it gets into bully bullshit. It gets into lopsided power structures. I get so angry at that. That's why Richard Chismar is so infuriating to me. Just really gets me. Chiz, Keen, Gambino, and Golden, Christopher Golden. That's who I call out. Chad, we all know who they are. They are very vocal. Yeah. Yeah. Is Mitch going to AuthorCon? Mitch will get a taste of it at AuthorCon. All right. Yeah. And yeah. Anyway, the dog piling they do on people, the whole thing. It's like everybody waits to see their word on something. There is one person I like who is kind of a gatekeeper as well, but I think it comes from an honest place. And I could be wrong about this person, but it's Mother Horror. I like her, and I think she's a genuine person. I think she's authentic. But there is that quality of getting her. I don't know. That feels a little bit more out of line, like I'm stretching. But anyway, I was going to show you some stuff, and I know we talked about this earlier. He is one of the panels about small press. Really, Mitch? Really? I didn't know that. Mitch, are you going to AuthorCon in Williamsburg, Virginia? Oh, man, I had no idea. Anyway, we were talking about this one earlier. Look at that. The Autumn Spring. Oh, yeah, Zach, you might not want to see it. The Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. My slipcase did get a little dinged. Look at that at the bottom. See? Bulges out. It's fine. I heard chatter saying the slipcase was not good. This is okay. I mean, it's obviously not a bibliopathologist slipcase, but it's better than a folio. And I like the art they have going on. It's cool. Then the book, man, the book. Look at that. Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre, Philip Fracassi. You know, you got the spine going on there. You got the back. You got a little talk. Then the book itself, which looks like an Easton Press / Graveyard Editions title. But it feels very nice. I am so happy for this title. I love the sprayed edges, the stenciled edges. You got the little green man there. Very, very cool. Cool end sheets. You got the retirement home itself, then the abandoned asylum. I don't know how to call it. And then and then of course the signature sheet. So, and then it is pretty identical page design as the trade edition, so they probably took the same page design. It's got a ribbon page marker, and it is, it's the same size as the aardvark and the broken binding edition. So, three beautiful big hardcovers, man. Oh God, I'm so happy. So this just leaves one more, man, just one more edition, and that is our friend Paul Miller's. Oh yeah, and it also has a reversible dust jacket. There is a typo on here. I think I was looking at it. They misspelled some things, but overall, it's very cool. And I gotta say, I don't know what you get with the reversible dust jacket. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I like this one better because this balances the boards really kind of nicely, and this feels like it matches the boards too much. I don't know, whatever. It's all subjective, personal taste. But man, I loved this book, and this is the 5th edition of it with one more to go. So very happy with that. Pissed off that my shelves are going to get rearranged again after I just did it. When I redid my whole office, I got rid of my old tank desk. I got this stand-up desk, which also lowers so I could sit at it. So it's very adjustable. And I do like the whole setup, but I'm pissed off now because Philip is pushing Josh Malerman out. I don't know where I'm going to put Josh. They all can't be in prime positions, Maybe I'll rethink my Stephen King collection and just keep the really cherished ones and then put the trades somewhere else. Maybe these shelves are just sign limited. Maybe that's where I'm heading. I don't know, but I'm thrilled to get it, man. Twisted Retreat. It was worth the wait, and all the other books I bought to get to it. And the slipcase, very cool. Very cool stuff. What have you all said? No, you cannot. I don't feel that way about Sadie. Yeah, I agree. I think she's an authentic, genuine person. But it looks like people look to her for her blessing, but that could be for a different reason. Not like out of fear, but out of respect, Bibliopathologist sounds familiar. Maybe I ordered for them years ago. Oh, yeah. Well, they're very backed up, Zach. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're having that experience. What a great looking book and case. Yeah, they are. It's cool. And it's cheap. $27. Did you get 2, Jeff? I have 2 coming. Mail didn't run today because of the roads, but I hope I get it tomorrow. Yeah, I did. I did actually. I did get 2. I couldn't resist. So I'll have 2 on my shelf, for whatever comes my way later. Mitch and Jeff, if either of you have mailed my packages yet, I have not received them, FY. No, I haven't mailed it yet. I'm so sorry, Stephen Wayne Elson Jr., but I have my allotment. I just got it. I did a video on it. I haven't posted it yet, but I was going to share all the goodies with you right now. But yeah, I got it. I'll be sending them out. I'm going to get them all organized and laid out. I don't have your lettered. Mitch has your lettered, but I'll be sending you your number. I have your number. He sent it to me, and your swag bag. It's coming. Double-sided dust jacket. Yeah. Sorry, a little behind. And yes, I'm going to AuthorCon. Oh, man. Mine is still en route to you. Yeah. So he's sending you the letter. I'm going to be sending you the numbered and the glass and the Jeff pass and the swag bag. So you could feel, and your name tag. You're getting your name tag on a lanyard. All that. You're going to be like bona fide. You're going to be made whole as far as I can with Jeff Con. So yeah, Mitch, can I just tell you that this Axum, it's in the wrapper, this copper Axum from Tyler Jones is my absolute favorite chapbook that you've done as far as the cover color. And second place would be the Gold Servitor. This is gold. It's not coming through properly. I'll do a video later, or I'll edit the video and you'll see it later with photos. But dude, this is some serious, awesome stuff, Mitch. Just great. These are the two variants from the Patreons. The gold and the copper. And then the numbereds are the purple and the yellow. So those are the numbers. And then, of course, I don't have the lettered yet because they are still with Mitch's son, who's doing the stitching. But I also got the advanced review copy. At the same time, I got these. So I can't advance review, but I will be reading it. And then, of course, Maelstrom, the lettered, which I'll share in the video. It'll all be in the video. But then last, and definitely not least, was Death Bus. The lettered Death Bus. Yeah, the lettered Death Bus. Which was not nominated for a Stoker. Oddly. I looked that list over. Short fiction noms. Death Bus wasn't on there. It's like, what? Really? Is that Mitch? Did you send it in? I told you to send it in. I'm like, it's gonna win. You're gonna get a Stoker prize winning chapbook. And in the bargain, it's a great marketing tool. And Death Bus is a shoo-in. How could you vote against Death Bus? Dude, aren't those variants so dope? They're awesome, man. Mitch, I love it. They are great. And I can't wait to read them. Can't wait to read them back to back, of course. So yeah, gonna be doing that. After I read Darker Days. And then what do I have right after Darker Days? The Song for the End of the World, that Mia Dahlia piece book. I'm going to be reading that. I have framed All the Rapture, 1 out of 50 illustrations. Looks dope. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. I gotta figure out how to pay you for the next bundle. Those are tomorrow Jeff problems. I got my shipping notice from Tulsa also. Yeah, did I get another shipping notice, Mitch? Did you send me something? Am I getting like the lettered? I don't know. I feel like I got a shipping notice from Tulsa for reasons I can't quite understand. Is it my print? You could hold the print until the lettereds are ready or whatever. I'm always going to be getting bundles from you. But coming from Tulsa, I'm getting something when? The 28th. So 2 days. I had to look. Yes, that's how out of loop I am. Stoker told me Death Bus was too good. It made all the other stories look too lame, and they didn't want people to feel bad. Oh, that's fair. I guess it's fair. Yeah, I mean, I'd hate for that, Stoker to like have to retire the award because nobody could ever, live up to that that those 10,000 words. Feel bad. I didn't want to do that to the world, but a man can't help himself. So what else did I not talk about? We talked about Earthling. We talked. Oh God, I had a whole thing about Cemetery Dance. They're so desperate. I don't know how much longer they got because they're doing a silent auction thing. Then they're like, "Hey, we'll sell you $1,000 worth of credit for $400." Richard is pulling out all kinds of shit. More warehouse finds, a snow sale. Ooh, we're gonna have a special snowstorm sale. Oh man, the guy's just a reptile. And it's like soon, it's like very soon, I think. He's probably I don't know what contingency plan he has, but the level of desperation has taken on it went up a notch. I sent you the next arc. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes. Get that word out. Once I get my ones coming for the additional titles, I will totally take a pick. Some genius must have prevented you from mailing them all different sizes. Yeah, Keen said no, no way. Keen's like, no, this guy's not ordained. At least Jeff waited for the end of the stream to get shit. Yeah, I can't. You only got so much, and like, I was happy that I got my Stand Artist Edition, and I'm like, can we just? You don't want to carry anger around anymore. But then, why am I still subscribed to those newsletters? You got to ask yourself that. Yeah. What size frame are you using? The Chiz Reddit is pretty red. Yeah, Stephen Dwayne Elson Jr. found a Reddit post about Cemetery Dance, and the people teeing off on Richard Chismar were just spot on. It's not hard to figure out. We all get it. If you spend any time in the collecting world, you get it. These people were just teeing off on him, man, saying all the right things. Well, folks, time to hit the road. Have a great weekend. Stay warm and don't send a Chiz any money. Amen to that. All right. With that, I think I'm going to go too. And yes, I hope all your power stays on. I hope you're all warm. I hope, everything's good. I'm out of beer. Otherwise, I would toast you all and tell you to be good to each other and remind you that if you're going through the storm, literal or figurative, just trust you're going to be better on the other side. Just get to that other side. Just keep going. Keep persisting, keep pushing, and you'll be good. You'll be good later on. So good night, everybody. Take it easy, and I will see you all again next week. If there is a next week.